Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, man.
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy D Starks.
Starks Artist.
And you're tuned in to the Just Different podcast, where we talk everything faith, life, and culture.
Yep.
Welcome. What's up with y'all? What's good?
Welcome back.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
or at least belated Thanksgiving, because this is the next day. I asked Jordan, I was like, should we post on Thanksgiving? I was just overthinking it. I didn't know if that was a thing. I didn't know if people didn't drop stuff, and I didn't know if people be in their families or whatever. So I was just you know what, we'll just save it for the next day.
Yeah.
I was just man, I don't know. Is that a unwritten rule? Creators don't post on that day.
I didn't think it was that deep. When you asked me, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, and then I saw somebody else, and it was KP, and he was in the middle of a series, and he was yeah, I'm dropping it today at 3. So I'm I guess other people are. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is I guess it's an all day thing sometimes, but it's really just an event. You know what I mean? You kind of eat and the people chilling.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but anyways, we here now. We dropping. But we had asked you all on our story, and we had asked on the live that we had Tuesday too. What is something or one thing you're thanking God for in this season? Mm-hmm. And the responses, bro, running laps for real. They were fire. Real, genuine and authentic. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you. Tell the people what are you thanking God for?
I'll let y'all know what I'm thankful for. You know what I'm saying? Dang, what am I thankful for? I mean, I'm so. A part of me just wants to go with the answer. Thankful for everything. thankful for being alive. You know, that's the answer that a lot of people give. But you know what, bro? I'm thankful for you, bro.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, dog.
We're gonna get real heartfelt and sentimental, bro. No, but yeah, I'm thankful for you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm thankful for you as well.
Everything you do for me, bro. Even when you don't do nothing, you know?
Yeah. And I love you. I appreciate you. No, I would say, I said this on the live, but one thing that I'm thankful for is that I serve a God of another chance. We hear it a lot, and it's always we serve a God of second chances. In which is true, and I understand the sentiment. It maybe just be an issue of semantics, right? Yeah. But I would switch that and say a God of another chance, because there's a few mistakes I've made over and over.
It's not just two.
Again, it was more than two. It was more than three. It was a few of the same mistakes.
Yeah.
And he still said there's grace for that. So I'm thankful right now, particularly in this season, that I serve a God of another chance. Though I'll fall, he is still there. So yeah, just want to share that with y'all. Y'all, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you had a good day. But let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
Let's get straight into it.
Bro?
We this is one of the ones we originally planned to do that I felt kind of pushing the direction to go in. But basically talking about kind of loneliness.
Ooh, okay.
Loneliness and
yeah.
And I mentioned it one time when we were on live, and we posted something a clip on our IG and TikTok. But sometimes you be in that mood or that mode of dang, am I the only Christian here?
Yeah.
You'll be looking around in your school, in your town, or where you work. Yo, am I really the only one that's truly living for God?
Yeah. It's there's believers, people going to church, but is there Christians?
Laying their life down every day.
Picking up that cross when they wake up.
Laying aside my desires.
Crucifying that flesh daily.
Is there people really? Where are they at?
Yeah.
God, where are my people?
I feel you.
I know you didn't leave me here alone.
I know you didn't.
I know I didn't come this far to come to you just to be here with nobody around me. What is going on?
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, I kind of want to talk about that, because I think that's something in terms of the responses that we got is a very common experience, especially for just Christians in general, people of faith. When you're in a season, or at least you find yourself in an environment where you find out the kids, how do you deal with that? What does that process look like? And it's because there's danger there, because what will happen is you'll begin to compromise who you are for the sake of company.
Yep.
You'll start to go back on what you believe in your principles, your values,
Yep.
for the sake of just having people there.
Loneliness will do some things to you, bro. It really will.
Just having people there, because loneliness leads to desperation, and when you're desperate, you're not picky.
Say it again, bro.
Loneliness will lead, in some cases, it's a big topic, and you know what I mean, it's case to case, and how like it affects people and what causes it. But in context what we're talking about, it will lead to desperation, and when you're desperate, you're not picky. Or in other words, you have no standard. You have no standard. And so the enemy wants you to lower your standard to push you away from the purpose God's called you to.
Yeah.
So that's the danger of it, in terms of when you have those feelings and you're in that moment of like still staying firm in what you believe, and not just going to anything or anyone that comes your way for the sake of company.
Yeah, you have to be picky, bro. For the calling you have to have those standards, bro. Because if you surround yourself with the wrong circle, it's gonna cause you to fall out of God's purpose for your life. So it's like you can't afford to lose those standards.
No, facts. And I know I'm like at me, because really speaking to myself, because I think that's a part of what I feel like I probably fell into. Like the last few months of the last season of my life, it was just like, dang, like, I mean, it's Friday. It's the weekend.
It's the weekend.
Who else am I spending my time with? Who else am I going to commune with, talk with, go to the game with?
Yeah.
And so then you just take anything because you just want something.
You're really in my closet.
Okay, yeah, you want to go out for sure.
Yeah.
Because I would rather have someone by my side than no one.
Yeah, right.
And so then you just find yourself getting into tricky situations because you're out with them, and it's just you're out with them, and then you find yourself in environments you otherwise not put yourself in.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, y'all going out there? I mean, okay, why not? Y'all want to go with them? Out to that party?
Well, I mean,
out to that function?
Since I'm already with you.
Well, okay.
Yeah, since I'm already here.
No harm done. And so then you find yourself in those environments, and then fall into habits, and or go back to things
falling back.
You promised yourself you never fall into. So it's important that you, I guess, you understand like what's going on in those seasons or those moments, and like manage or handle it well.
Yeah.
And understand that you're not alone.
You are not.
That sounds really simple, minuscule, elementary, but that simple fact of understanding you are not alone and you have a people.
Yeah.
Right? Like we talk about, like your purpose has a people, your calling has a community, and that's beyond who you're like called to impact. It's who you're called to do life with.
Exactly.
Like he has a people he wants you to surround yourself with.
Yeah, and I think when I get in those modes and those seasons that you just sort of talked about, I get in mindsets of, I don't know, I start to hate the call sometimes. And I'd be like, dang, God, I feel like I'm called to help everyone else, but no one's helping me. I feel like I'm called to pour into everyone else, no one's pouring into me. But you have to realize, just like he has people you're called to, there are people called to you.
Ooh.
Because I'll be thinking that sometimes I got to catch myself like, I don't know, we think we're like the main character.
Bro, you talking, keep, yeah.
We be thinking we're the main character and like, oh, we got to help all these other side characters. You're the side character in someone else's story. They're called to you. So it's like, you can't forget about that. God ain't forgot about you. Promise you he hasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, bro, that's facts. Like, of course you're called to pour out, but there are also individuals called to pour into you.
Exactly.
Right? And like you said, sometimes we do get in that mode where we think we're the main character. And it's not necessarily pride or anything, but you get in those modes of feeling like, dang, I got to be the strongest one.
Yeah.
Like, why am I always the strongest one? Why am I always the one that people are coming to for advice or, for guidance and this and that? Who's there for me?
Yeah. Thoughts be coming, bro.
Who's there for me? Why do I feel like I'm carrying everyone else's weight?
Yeah.
Who's gonna help me hold mine? Manage mine.
Right.
That's facts.
I swear. I be thinking when I get in those modes, I swear I be there.
No, that's real. That's real talk. So I guess how do you deal with that? Or like I guess what do you need to remind yourself of during those times, or like connect yourself with, in those moments when you're feeling like, dang God, like where are they at?
What do you have to say? I can't. You think you got something?
I would say I think a part of it is I saw something. It was really goofy, but it just reminded me of I guess this principle. Somebody that posted it was Diamond. Shout out Diamond, love you sis. And the caption was, I asked God for the world, but didn't realize I already had it.
Oh.
I asked God for the world, but I didn't realize I already had it. And I think sometimes, in some cases, it's like we're always searching for more when we already have everything we need.
That's good.
And when you apply that principle to this, sometimes we're in that season of, okay, God, like, where is my community? Where's my tribe? And sometimes they're actually already there. And so sometimes, like, I guess I'll challenge you all, and God's been challenging me because I've been saying that. And he's like, yo, like, what about them? I placed them there for a reason. You're overlooking them.
Yeah.
You're not putting in the work in that relationship.
Yeah.
You're not taking the time to manage that and maintenance that well. Yeah. That's the person that's called to help you in this season, to push you toward purpose. But you're not giving them the time of day.
Right.
And so I think sometimes we can overlook the blessing and of the people he sent us.
Yeah. I think, that's good. I think sometimes it's like God will sometimes send those people into your life when you're not necessarily feeling lonely. So when you get lonely, you're so used to what's familiar, you're overlooking it. You feel me? Sometimes facts. Those people have been in your life for a while, even when you weren't feeling lonely. But when those feelings come, it's like they're so familiar. It's like you don't even think about them. Like God sent someone new, but he's already placed those people there for such a time as this.
I like that. That's the word. And so that's what I would say, because that's what I've been challenged with a lot lately. I just haven't been managing what I have well. Yeah. That the people are already there. They were placed strategically already. Yeah. And now it's time for me to take the necessary steps.
Dang, you giving me a word, bro.
To connect with them in those times. And so so my advice, I guess, in that season is to like look at what God's already placed in you. I mean, around you, excuse me. Because there could be, someone like in your youth group, or someone that's like, in third period, that seventh period class, you know what I mean, that you actually like really connect with heavy, but you're just like overlooking them, thinking that what you want or what you need is somewhere that it's not. And it's already right there. It's in your backyard. It's in your house. It's in your family.
Yeah, I'm about to go look through my backyard after this EP, man. You really talking to me right now.
Look through the backyard, because sometimes like that's what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? For some people, not all, but that's what I would say. Sometimes you just need to audit your life and look at, okay, like God, like, okay, man, that's why they're there. Yeah. Oh, dang, I ain't hit them in a while, but they hit me up last week asking how I was. I just kind of like blew them off. But like, that's who you're trying to send. Yeah. Okay, I hear you, God. And ask him to reveal those people as well. You know what I mean? So you get clear vision of, wow, like this is the person that I need right now or need to connect with, for me to become what you've called me to and all that good stuff. So that's what I would say. A part of it, for real.
That's real good, sir. It really is. Y'all, when I tell y'all we don't speak on things we haven't gone through or are going through, bruh, I'm going through this heavy right now, this loneliness thing. It's like you're really talking to me right now.
No, facts.
And I think there's going to be some people, how people like take implications from certain statements. We're not saying that God isn't enough. Because, I think some people think like, oh, why are you lonely? Like, you have God. Yeah, I get that. But it's like when God created Adam, right, he was like, it's not good that man is alone. God was there with him, but it was like, I think there's just a difference with that human companionship. There's something different about it.
Of course, we're meant to have connection with others and other individuals like that. I was going to mention that, like, Adam had everything in the garden. He did. And God still said, it was God's words, y'all. It's your Bible. He said it's not good for a man to be alone. he didn't mean like a romantic companionship there.
No.
It wasn't good for a man to not have a wife, to not have a soulmate or romantic love. It's not good for him to be alone, period.
Yeah.
And so, no, that's good. I think that, like, yeah, God is enough, and we know that, but he still wants you to have individuals around you for your life. Because I heard it like this once. Relationships are kingdom currency. Relationships are kingdom currency. So anytime God wants to bless you or bring something in your life, it's always going to come in the form of a relationship.
That's good.
And so it's important that when we're talking about this topic of like loneliness and being alone, that of course, like, you're asking God to reveal those people around you. You're looking at who you already have in your circle, because what it leads to, it's going to lead to desperation, but also it can lead to isolation.
Yeah.
And I know that like, that's me. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes like when I feel alone, I feel like I guess I'm the only person in the space, or people can't understand me. I just retreat to being by myself, by my lonesome.
Right.
Like I'll just do me all by myself. Cool. Like not necessarily cut people off, but just like, distance them from what I'm going through or what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
But that's where the enemy wants you. Because if you're on your own, then how can God get his currency to you?
That's good. Ooh. You just said something.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Because if you're on your own, how can God get his currency to you, right? And that currency can come in the form of healing, of revelation, of companionship, of blessings, of perspectives that you needed, because that's all going to come from relationship. And so you can't allow like that season of you feeling lonely to, lead you to that space, because then it's going to cut off what God has for you and what he's like wanting to get to you ultimately.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why it's important, because that's what I do a lot. Like I'll just straight isolate myself, because it comes down to sometimes you're just like, because you'll get into those moments of loneliness and be like, and you'll be convinced that no one understands me.
Say it.
You'll convince yourself like, well, I mean, like nobody can understand what I'm going through. So there's no point in me explaining myself or trying to explain it to someone else or bring someone else in, because they're not going to understand anyway. But what's the point? Because I do that a lot. Like,
Not me too.
And I just do not give into the lie of the enemy. Because like, how do you expect someone to understand you when you don't explain what's going on? You know what I mean? And I'm talking to myself right now, because I'll just like, because you just put that automatic assumption on someone because you really don't want to connect. You don't want to put in the work, the effort, and or open yourself up or be transparent and vulnerable to other people about what's taking place in your life. Right. And so you cannot give into that lie. Because it's just not true, bro.
It's not.
It is. It's not the truth. It's far from. Because that's what I do. I'm just like, bro, like, yeah. I'm a popular loner. Like popular loner. What do people say?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? People love that, and I think we in this generation specifically, we take pride in that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm this popular loner.
I think we're cool.
I can't even say it, bro.
Popular loner.
Popular loner.
There you go.
We that's our like claim to fame, and it's just like, yeah, like I got a small circle. I don't let too many people in. Like we like reserve our right to be alone and just completely misunderstood.
That's good.
But like, where does the enemy? That's where the enemy talks the loudest.
Exactly.
I think I've heard it like that before. I think we all have. Like, that's where the enemy talks the loudest, is when you're alone.
Exactly.
By yourself, far from anyone else. Because if you cut off everyone else's voices, then he has the ability to creep in.
Yeah, that's good. That's funny. I do see on TikTok a lot on the popular loner. Make it like it's trendy to be so like, dang.
Yeah, but like, and so I think a part of it is, it's definitely healthy that you desire that connection and just, truly pursuing it and putting in that effort. Yo, okay, I had this thought.
What's up?
I had this thought.
I'm listening.
And this was, I don't know when it was, but I was thinking about, I wonder what our lives would look like if we put in as much effort as we do romantic relationships to our platonic ones. If we put as much pursuit in to we do finding our Proverbs 31 as we do finding our bro.
Yeah. Like, what would that... Yeah, like, imagine where we would be, bro.
Because I think for me, sometimes it's like, what we don't realize is both relationships take almost the same amount of effort. That sounds like duh, but we don't realize that. We don't think about that. Like the same maintenance, the same care, the same attention. Not exactly, not to like the same level or extent, but the principle stands that you do give to this like lover, the significant other, is the same way you have to manage your friendships. I know we already talked about this, but I think it kind of applies.
No, it does.
So it's just like, I just wonder what our lives would look like if we like, you know, because it's like, yeah.
Yeah, what EP was that? I think I said like, why is it always I'm lonely, I need a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Why isn't it I'm lonely, let me go get a friend?
Yeah.
You know? What did we talk about that in the EP? Right?
Yeah, we talked about it before the person.
I didn't know if I'd already said that or not. But yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So that's what I would say. I like
And I noticed, like even I sort of just kind of got out of the season of that right now where I got desperate, right? And my standards dropped, but what you don't realize when you do that is like you're not only hurting yourself, you're not only wasting time, but like you're hurting that other person as well. Because for example, like I don't know about y'all, but even when I fall down, I will always get back up. I will always come back to God. I can't just go back to a regular life without God after experiencing Him in His fullness and everything.
There's no way. It doesn't matter how far I fall.
It does.
Or how much I go back into sin. Like I could never.
I will always. I made that promise like the first day I got saved. I was like, after feeling this, I will always come back to God. Like there's no way I could just live a regular life. So what I realized, like when I fall down and I get in those seasons, I'll realize that God will start pulling on that conviction once again. And I'll probably end up cutting that person off that I brought into my life. So it's like, you're not only hurting yourself because, dang, that's toxic, ain't it? That's toxic, ain't it? No, because I'm for real. No, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what my thought process is. And I know I'm toxic, but I'm going to say this because I know some of y'all think the same stuff. I'll get desperate and I'll be like, I know I shouldn't do this right now, but I'm lonely. And I know I'm eventually going to cut this person off, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'll be doing that. That's so messed up. Just because I'm desperate and lonely. So not only am I wasting my time, I'm wasting theirs, and I'm hurting them. Like, that's so messed up.
No, for real. But that's what it will, bro. That's why you have to manage it well, because that's what it will lead to. Like, straight up. And I'm a testament to that, too. We going to keep it 100
Let's keep it real.
I'm going to keep it 100. I've done that so many times. Like, I'll be lonely, and I'll, like, either, like, befriend someone or even, like, kind of a romantic interest thing. Regardless of it, I'll befriend someone knowing they are not someone in a normal circumstance I would ever have in my life.
Right.
Knowing there's someone that I wouldn't necessarily see, in my future down the line. Knowing it's someone that I don't necessarily see helping me grow as a individual, but still bring them in anyway. Knowing what the outcome will probably be.
Just because you lonely.
Not intentionally trying to hurt anybody. Don't get me wrong. Like, we not out like... we ain't no heartbreakers, bro. Not intentionally trying to hurt anyone, but it's just like, well, like, this is nice for right now.
Yeah. It's like when you're in that mind state, it's like you're not necessarily thinking about when you're out of that mind state. You know what I mean?
Out of that moment. Yeah. So that, bro, like, it not only loneliness, like, it not only like affects you.
Yeah.
But you can start harming
people attached
or
to
hurting everything and anything attached to you.
Yeah. Dang.
So it's just like understanding, the right people to bring around you when you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
Understanding who you do and don't need to attach to when you're feeling like, dang, like, it'd be nice to have somebody to call right now. It'd be nice to have somebody, just a text. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, like, so what's going on? Hey, sis, hey.
You know what that means? Some of y'all need to block some of them numbers. Some of y'all need to block some of them people, because you know when you get lonely, you gonna run to them. Go ahead, block the number.
Some context need to get cut. So it's just changing the direction of your pursuit. You know, changing the direction of your pursuit on what you run to when you're feeling like that.
Yeah,
like ultimately, because it can lead to so much for real.
Yeah. You
You got anything else for the people? Yeah, I can't stand you, bro.
I knew he was gonna say it. But
you got anything else? Like leave some more like practical tips how to deal with that, or even a little recap with like how to deal with like, you know, that loneliness of feeling like that.
I think what you said was really good, and honestly, it's helping me out. After this, I'm gonna do some assessment of my life. But you said you know, we ask God for the world when we already have it, you know, and a lot of times what we're searching for is already there in our backyard. So sometimes you need to take a look in that backyard and really take a look, like, oh, did God really place that person in my life? Oh, I forgot about you. I didn't even realize. Yeah. So I think that was really good.
Yeah. And I would say that like God doesn't want you to be alone. Really simple. But I think, you know, if you all need to hear that, I need to hear that. God doesn't want you to be alone. Reassuring yourself that he does have a people for you, even if you don't see them right now. Because I know for me, like I've always had people in my life, and there was a season where, you know, I probably wasn't as connected to people I was surrounded with. But right now in this season, he's bringing those people that I am already knowing are going to be like lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And so even if you are going through that moment of dang, like where are they at? They are coming.
They are.
Period. There is no ifs and buts about it. God has a people for you. And that's something that you just need to reassure yourself and know about and like really get into your heart and in your faith. Have faith that God will send those individuals to like help you along the way of your purpose in life. Because they're a necessity. Period. Yeah. They're a necessity.
There's a people called to you as well.
There are people called to you as well that he wants to pour into your life and, you know, help you along this path of purpose.
Yeah.
So just know that 110%. Like Jordan said, like I kind of mentioned earlier, like look at what you have right now.
Yeah.
What's around you. Because sometimes, you know, the world's in your backyard.
That's fire. That's tough. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, so we'll leave it out with that.
Wait. I was just thinking, if, you know how when we get lonely, we think, oh, we're the only one, I'm the only one feeling like this. But it's like, you just said you was lonely. I just said I was lonely. So we ain't the only ones dealing with it. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
So technically we're not really lonely because, you know, if we both lonely, then we're lonely together?
Lonely together. No, that's facts though. Like, you know, we always get in that mode of thinking that people can't understand where we're at or understand, but yo, there's an entire community.
Yeah, this is proof right here. You listening to this?
There's an entire community that not completely, right? Because we all have different experiences, but for the most part, can really stand with you and what you're going through and walk you through it. You know what I mean? No matter like how far they are, where they're at in the world, like there's a worldwide community like us, man.
Yeah.
That we all going through the same thing. We all here for each other. We all here together.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And I hope you take heart in that. But yeah, the whole world's in your backyard. Is that what you said?
The world's in your backyard.
We'll leave them off with that. That's tough.
Stay you. Stay real. Stay humble. We'll catch y'all next week. Much love.